What's up, guys? Welcome back to Hard Water Propagation. This is Nick, and today we're going to spend a little bit of time in my office and get to know my tanks.
So to start with, we're going to rebuild some old tanks that I had sitting around. So I've got a 2.5 gallon and a 5.5 gallon that I'm going to use some of this Fluval Stratum in. Apparently this is my go-to. Stratum with some sand cap. It seems to be working for me, so I'm sticking with it here. So watching the Peplin Foxy Wedding Charity auction here, keeping me entertained as I put these tanks together. I've also got a new to me 20 tall from Marketplace here that I'll be setting up. I'm just trying to reuse all the stuff I have laying around the house here, so nothing fancy, clearly, with the light situation. I saw someone grind up root tabs like this once, so we're going to give that a shot, and now we just need to find some sand to cap this. Here's my go-to place. This is where they leave all the dredged out sand from the Mississippi River, and they allow public access here. So free sand for me. You just really have to wash thoroughly. And as you can see, we're at the lock and dam here. Super zoom. There's a barge locking through. And this is the mighty Mississippi River here. All right, so we're back home now. We've got our Aquarium Co-Op delivery for the day. I should have everything I need to set these tanks up now. Start off with that snail sticker. I think I've got the full set now. And checking out these Aquarium Co-Op sponge filters. They look good. I got 2 of the mediums. I can tell already the flow is much more than I expected, and I thought these would be a little bit more expensive. So happy with these so far. Picked up a couple pleco caves. I have a lot of plecos, and I'm hoping to maybe get a breeding pair. So preparing for the future, and then stocking up on Easy Green. I have tried easily 6 or 7 different liquid fertilizers, and for my water and the plants that I have, the Easy Green has been the most effective. So no more testing for me. That's what I'm sticking with. Ooh, made in China. Wonder what Corey thinks about all these tariffs. Glad I got this stuff now. Of course, you got to get your baby brine shrimp eggs, because babies love baby brine. And these are the plants that I ordered with all the rest of the equipment here. I got Pogostemon octopus and some crypts. And since there's space, things are just accumulating. But we've got some cuttings, and those 2 tanks are up and running. And we're ready to go with this tank now. So let's try the hand edit here. Ooh, coming back early to humble brag. This is the first time I've used my upstairs python. So like Stephen P, I have 2 pythons. Boom. And there we go. I had to brag to you about the 2 pythons because the people I know in real life wouldn't know what that is and wouldn't care at all. But here we are, set up.
So starting the tour of the office tanks, on the left here to begin with is just a 10-gallon setup here. Very simple. Sponge filter, air pump, small heater, homemade lid, small twin star light, Fluval stratum substrate with river sand as the cap, and black metal guppies. This was the first and only fish I ever purchased on eBay, and I received them with one dead female in the bag. The water smelled just putrid, and I could not believe that they survived. But so far, they've dropped about 4 or 5 different batches of fry at this point. They seem very happy and healthy. I've got a little bit of algae growing in here, but I'm not too worried about it. I just threw some plant trimmings in here to start with. Got some Swasser tang there, some pearlweed. We've got dwarf sage growing everywhere in here, spreading out. I've got a tiny bit of guppy grass there in a few different spots. And this polysperma stuff that grows like crazy. When I introduce you to the tanks downstairs, you'll see I have a 55 gallon that's completely enveloped with that. Only other call out for this tank is Mrs. Hardwater did paint the back and sides with chalkboard paint. This particular tank is right next to the TV, and none of the light there penetrates that. So very nice if you're into painting the back and sides of the tank. The chalkboard paint worked really well for that. Okay, moving on to the next tank here. This is a 36 gallon bow front marketplace find, $60 for the tank and stand. Again, very simple setup. I did replace the light up top. Otherwise, again, Fluval stratum substrate capped with river sand. And this one, I did not strain very well, and you can see how prevalent the zebra mussel issue is in Mississippi River waters. All of these white shells are remnants from zebra mussels that are an invasive species here in the Mississippi River. So this tank is home to 6 juvenile Amica splendens. These are from Greg Sage at Select Aquatics. He was awesome to work with. It was an honor to order fish from him. And in this tank, primarily we have dwarf sage kind of doing its thing. Got a bunch of crypts that have melted and are kind of coming back now. Some bacopa and kabamba, I think they're called. We've got elodia growing up and around. I have awesome roots here from this pothos plant that is doing really, really well out of the back of this tank. And then I did throw some additional plants here. We've got some jungle val that's over here doing really nothing. Some of these new plants that came from the co-op just now, the octopus. And there you can see the pit bull pleco here doing his thing in the back. Very cool fish. And again, these are the Amica splendens, the butterfly split fin, critically endangered species from Mexico. So they're alone in this tank. I just have the 6 of them in there in the pleco, and I hope to fill this with babies as time goes on. Moving over to the rack, I won't spend too much time here because we've already covered this. Sorry for the glare. This is one of the few tanks in the room where I did not use river sand here. Fluval stratum substrate capped with pool filter sand and gravel that I had laying around from previous broken down tanks. So some more Bacopa, this octopus plant. I wedged some suacertane in there. Got a little baby sword and some foxtail I just stuck in there as well. So these tanks on the top of the rack now, all brand new setups, and just working on getting them seasoned and getting some plants propagated in here. The pearlweed, really liking this little tank here, really taking off right away. So more space to fill, more to come on the rack. And lastly, the oldest tank in my office here. This tank's been established for a couple of years here, and this is actually where I started my humpback lemur breeding. So this was another marketplace find here. This was sold to me as a 20 tall. Recently, after remeasuring it, it's a really odd shape. It's about 17 and a half gallons, not a 20 tall. But it does the job here. So again, these are my humpback lemias. I have two other humpback lemia breeding tanks downstairs, so I have split this colony several times. But these are the pairs I have working in here right now. Beautiful fish, my favorites. In this tank, I've got some suacertane, a small crypt down there, some micro anubias, and then some other anubias that are kind of bouncing back after not doing too well for a while, but you can see I've got some new growth there. And the anubias is coming back. Next to that is some really ugly moss and suacertane all mixed up. But as you can see, if you can see the babies in there, yeah, there's one if you can see that. The babies just love this stuff. They just love being in there. So I leave it. I don't mind the look of it. Some of you may think it's a little messy, but I love nature looking tanks. And this is what it looks like out on the Mississippi River when we go fishing. So a few other swords and crypts on this side. Random hill stream loach in this tank. And I do have a snow white pleco in here somewhere as well. But really the tank's for these folks here to be breeding and happy in. And those are the office tanks for now.
So these are my office tanks. Next time, maybe next time, at some point, I'll introduce you to the tanks that are downstairs. And I'll continue to provide updates on these tanks here and setups for more and more tanks as I add to the rack. So thank you again so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Take care.